Hey guys, today we're going to be doing L'Hopital's rule. I'm going to try to go as fast as possible so you guys try to understand the basics. L'Hopital's rule gets a lot more complicated, but this is just kind of the part one, if you will. Alright, so let's get right into it. So, we have limit as x goes to 2 of x squared minus 4 over x minus 2. Well, the first thing you want to do with limit equations is obviously the substitution. So, let's substitute 2 in. So, it'd be 2 squared minus 4 over 2 minus 2. So this gives us 0 over 0. Alright, so this is something called indeterminate form. Indeterminate form. So what that means is that you can use L'Hopital's rule. So this brings us our first rule. Only use when it's 0 over 0 or infinity over infinity. Alright? So those are the only times you can use L'Hopital's rule. So, what even is L'Hopital's rule? Well, this brings us to rule 2. So as a limit as x approaches a of f of x over g of x, if this first rule is met, if it's 0 over 0 or infinity over infinity by substitution, then this is the same thing as the limit as x goes to a of f prime of x, or the derivative of x, over the derivative of g. Alright? So, let's try that out. So let me just erase this. But one thing I will say, I would just write like substitution gives you 0 over 0, and then you use L'Hopital's here, because my teacher took points off, so that's just trauma for me. So maybe it'll help you guys. All right, so f of x, we're gonna take the derivative of the top and then the derivative of the bottom, and then still put it to the same limit as x approaches 2. The derivative of the top is just 2x, and the derivative of the bottom is just 1. So now we can use our substitution. So now it's just going to be 2 times 2 over 1, which is just 4. And boom, 4 is our answer. Before, you guys might have said, oh, the limit doesn't exist, but it does if you use L'Hopital's rule. Alright, so now let's go on to our next question. So this is going to be well, actually, you guys can do this. So we're going to use substitution first. Remember, you always use substitution when you see a limit problem first. So this can be 3 times infinity. I shouldn't write like this, but I am. Just pretend I didn't write it, okay? But obviously this is going to give you infinity over infinity. And like we said, that is one of our rules. So rule 1 is met. So now we can move on to rule 2. So rule 2 basically says, we just write the same limit. We take the derivative of the top, the derivative of 3x is just 3, over the derivative of the bottom, e to the x is just e to the x. The derivative of e to the x is just e to the x, right? So now we can plug it in. So we get 3 over e to the infinity. I shouldn't write it like that. But what does this become? Well, e to the infinity, that grows to infinity, right? So imagine like this, okay? As I divide 3 by bigger and bigger numbers, right, isn't it going to start going closer and closer and closer to 0, right? So if I divide 3 by 100 million, that's going to be a super, 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 super small number. So small, in fact, that we can just say that the limit approaches 0. And that's our answer. So before, we would have said that it was infinity over infinity, but using L'Hopital, we said no, that's indeterminate form. Indeterminate, so we can use L'Hopital. Alright? And next question. Alright, so last one. Limit as x goes to 0 of sine x over x. Alright, so this tests your trig knowledge a bit. Remember, first thing we want to do, sine of 0 over 0. Well, what is sine of 0? Sine of 0 is just 0, 0 over 0. And this is indeterminate, which means we can use L'Hopital. So we use our same limit as x goes to 0. The derivative of sine x is just cosine x, and the derivative of x is just 1. So now we can plug it in. So cosine of 0 over 1 what does that give us? Well, that just gives us 1. And this is the answer. All right. So now, by the way, guys, if you have trouble knowing like cosine of 0 or sine of 0, I have a video of how to do that, like no memorization. But anyway, that's basically the AB part that you need to know. BC, it's going to go a lot more in depth, and I'll cover that in a later video. But if you guys learned something today, drop a like, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy holidays, and I'll see you in the next video.